I'm glad to welcome you to the new episode of the MIT Center video podcast, Education for Future. My name is Alona, and I'm going to tell you about another impressive method of teaching named blended learning. Many people mistakenly believe that they use blended learning when they simply use digital tools in traditional teaching and keep doing it the same way they did before, but remotely. For example, via Skype, Zoom, Google Meet, and so on. However, using such platforms just allows remote teaching, but doesn't improve the quality of education. Real blended learning doesn't look like this. Although there are different interpretations of blended learning used in the world, we focus on the one defined by the Christensen Institute from California, the USA, since this one is very well described and researched and has already proven its efficiency. So blended learning is a wise combination of face-to-face learning and usage of digital solutions, which allows us to take the best out of these two approaches. For example, one of the most prominent instructional strategies used in blended learning is flipped classroom, which swaps in-class activities and homework. So at home, learners watch video lectures, read articles, collaborate in online discussions, and make various assignments, while the in-class time is dedicated to individual or group work guided by the mentor. Here, learners can improve their skills, get deeper knowledge and answers to their questions. In its turn, independent learning of the theoretical part makes the learning process flexible, because each learner can study anywhere and anytime they want, and they can skip what they already know or watch some videos again in case their content is challenging or not clear yet. Also, independent work increases learners' sense of responsibility for their own success, which is the basis of lifelong learning. And lifelong learning is the core competence of future specialists that must constantly improve in order to keep pace with the extremely fast developing world. There are some more models and techniques, but we won't go too deep right now. However, if you are eager to know them, send us your request by email and we will share the info with you. So why is blended learning so good? What are these benefits that it brings us? The benefits for learners are clear from the definition and explanation provided before. Students get way more flexibility in their learning process. They don't need to adapt to the lecturer's tempo or to the group's learning speed. If you don't understand something, you can watch or read it again and again, as many times as you need. If it's something you already know, you just skip it and use this time to deal with a topic which is new and probably difficult for you. But not only students save their time. Teachers don't need to explain the same subject in class again and again anymore. They spend their precious time on direct interaction with learners, answering their questions, explaining especially challenging things, defining gaps in their knowledge, guiding them on how to fill these knowledge gaps, etc., etc. And certainly, all the in-class activities are tightly connected to what was learned at home. So you learn something new and you immediately apply it in practice, which makes the learning process much more successful, attractive, and engaging. So, blended learning is flexible, personalized, but still provides personal contact with the teaching staff, feedback, and progress tracking and control measures. By the way, speaking about control measures, the Christensen Institute suggests using blended learning along with the mastery-based learning concept or competence-based learning. It is an instructional approach where students have to demonstrate a deep level of understanding of a topic or subject area before moving to the next one. In simple terms, it means that each portion of theoretical material is complemented by practical tasks, including a quiz or a test. If you don't pass it, you have to review the theoretical part and make another attempt, unless you pass it successfully. Only then you can switch to the next topic. The high level of interactivity also makes the process more engaging for learners and allows them to track their progress on each step. Blended learning changes education fundamentally. From what was explained before, you have probably already guessed that the role of the teacher and the role of the learner are completely different from what we had in traditional teaching. Teachers become coaches or mentors. They guide learners and help them to achieve better results, while learners switch from a passive to an active role and become responsible for their own learning path and progress. Another benefit of blended learning is that it is universal. You can use it for any level, starting from primary school and up to college or university. But it is also applicable for non-formal education and corporate training. Let's say your enterprise has got some new employees and they need to be trained. So instead of training each group of new employees face-to-face, you provide them with training materials which were prepared in advance and then do some practical tasks with them. Thus, your new employees feel more comfortable due to the flexibility. You make sure they understand everything is taught thanks to the mastery-based concept. You have no chance to skip anything important which could happen during a face-to-face training. And you save your time and resources, because your experienced staff doesn't spend some other man-hours on explaining things to the newcomers, but do their job, which is important. So let's sum up. Blended learning is not just using digital tools in a traditional teaching approach, but rather a very specific methodology of combining face-to-face and online activities. It is a universal approach which can be used at different levels and in different environments, and makes the learning process flexible, personalized, but still maintains the personal contact to the coach or mentor and measures the progress, especially if combined with mastery-based learning. It allows learners to develop their sense of responsibility and active position, which are a must in modern life. Now, in case if something wasn't clear or you'd like to know more about blended learning, feel free to contact us by email, LinkedIn or Facebook, and we will be glad to answer your questions or offer you more information.